Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again for another video, and I'm a little bit happier today. Having a look around the other day, and some of the new cards from Battle from Baldur's Gate have appeared on MTGO. So I've picked a couple up. So some of the deck text this week will be around those cards, but we're going to kick off today with the first one that I picked up. I've built decks this colour before. I've tried to do something different with this. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Duke Ulder Ravengard. 4 red and white. It's a 5/5 legendary creature, human noble soldier, and it says at the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and myriad until the end of turn. So whenever it attacks for each opponent other than the defending player, you may create a token that's a copy of a creature that's tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker they control. Exile the tokens at the end of combat. So I've been thinking about this. I've been trying to work out if there's ways around we can use this and get things through a little bit quicker. I've got a couple of ideas. I'm not sure they're 100%. I've literally just built the deck today, and I'm just streaming it, recording it now and talking to you guys about it. So first things first, I think the first thing we do need to notice with this is that the mana cost here is quite high. So I have had to go back to my more usual mana base and support strategies for games I play on MTGO. Again, in real life, you don't need to do this. It's expensive, I know, but for me, I've gone with, to get the mana ramp going, we've got Mox Tantalite because it's a 2-colour deck. Mana Crypt because we're going to need that extra couple of mana. I've chucked in Soul Ring to go down that road as well. I've then put in Arcane Signet, Boris Signet, Fellwell Stone, and to try and cut the cost of some of the red spells down that we're going to be playing with, I've chucked in Ruby Medallion as well. Alongside that, as you can see, Alpine Meadow, Arid Mesa, Boris Guildgate. I've chucked Cabaretti Courtyarding because it does go and get a mountain and a plain, and I'm ignoring the forest for obvious reasons. Castle Ardavane, Clifftop Tree, Command Beacon, Command Tower, Fabled Passage, Field of the Dead you'd expect to see by now. Fury Calm Snarl, a whole load of mountains, a whole load of plains, with Path of Ancestry and some other red-white lands and Temple of the False God. Yeah, mana base is very simple. I decided to try and keep it as simple as possible for this. And then really it's on to what we're trying to do with the deck itself. So what I want to try and do is get things, give some of my creatures haste and myriad. Now, I was trying to find a way that I could sacrifice creatures to get some benefits, but in the end, that proved a little bit more complicated than I thought it was going to, so I kind of gave up on that at this stage. But I have put a few things in that when they do hit play, it might be we get some extra bits and pieces off them. So, without further ado, and notice there's not that many legendary creatures in here. Obviously, you don't want to be making loads of copies of legendary creatures because they will all die instantly, so that's a bit pointless. So I've tried to avoid them where I can. There are a few, but most of the creatures are not legendary. So we'll start down this end for this time. We'll start with the lower end. So we've got Hunted Witness. It's just anything that's like a 1-drop, and some of the 2-droppers basically early blockers. They're not there for anything major. Hunted Witness is here. Soul Warden's here to gain some life. Goblin Arsonist to just ping things. Impulsive Pilferer, however, is just here for the sake of it. It's an early drop, and it might give us a treasure token if it dies earlier, but we can encore it, which actually in this deck I'll put some things in that may help with the encoring. So that after that, Lightning Bolt and Iron Apprentice. I don't know why Iron Apprentice is in here. I just felt like playing something that was off colour, so that's here. That could get changed right this second, to be honest, but we'll see. Now, I've nipped over a couple of cards there because what I have done, which I'll talk about now, is I've done a small sliver theme in here. I like slivers, occasionally I chuck them in a deck. This seemed the right one for it. So we've got Sidewinder to give all our slivers flanking. We've got Striking Sliver to give them all first strike. And then Sinew Sliver to make them a little bit bigger. So this is the white version of Muscle Sliver, if you remember that back from the day. Two-Head Sliver to give them Menace. Cloud Shredder Sliver to give them flying and haste, which I thought was quite fun, something to do. Lava belly slivers here, so they can, when they enter the battlefield, they ping people. There's not many, there's a few. Belligerent sliver again to give them menace. It was just another sliver at 3-drop. It may get them out. Yeah, we have got two-headed sliver, which is better, but belligerent sliver's 1 extra point in deafness damage, so we'll go with that. And then watcher sliver, so they will get a little bit bigger. I don't think I put anything else in. I played around with it for a little while, but I just put those in just to get something a little bit different in this deck. So I've talked about the slivers. Herald of Jamoka's in here, so we have a few warriors, and that seemed like a reasonable 2-drop to drop in. Luminec Aspirant. I think if I'm playing any white deck going forward and it's got creature theme, this is going to appear. It's just a good creature, even in Commander. People don't tend to kill it early. It tends to build up. It tends to get up to a 3 or a 4/4. So hopefully that will carry on going. Anafenza's in here, the Keen Tree Spirit. We've got a lot of creatures that come into play, and we can bolster them. So it seemed like a good idea to me. I thought we'd try it out and give it a go. Lightning Strike, Magma Jet, along with Lightning Bolt, are just here really for early removal. I've talked about the slivers, 2-head and the Cloud Shredder. Again with Lightning Helix, it helps a little bit. Sunhome Guild Mage, just pump the creatures really, or if we need to, if we get to a point where we're flooding out of mana, we can use this to start getting at some 1/1 token creatures, which is fine. May not trigger all of our stuff, but 1/1's better than getting, say, 10 damage from a non-trampling creature, so that's what's in the deck. I've put a little bit in to help out with our commander because it's quite expensive. We can get Swift Foot Boots down. That gives us a bit of protection as things go forward. And also, one of the cards I have started to be really impressed with and thinking about why I've never played it before until recently, Sword of the Animist. Yeah, equip it to a creature and get that extra land out is always a good plan, especially in Commander, I've decided, and it's been working really well for me in some of my other decks. So you'll probably start seeing this a little bit more in my decks. I've checked in Halo Fountain from New Capenna. Not really sure why, but I figured I'd have a lot of tapped creatures and drawing some cards is nice. It is possible this deck we might have 15 tapped creatures at some stage and we can untap them all and win the game if we've got 5 white mana sitting around doing nothing, but I figured it's worth a try out. Likewise, Inspiring Overseers in here. Gives a bit of life, gives a bit of card draw, give a little bit of flying. This all seemed good to me at the time. Fiend Hunter for removal until it gets killed off. Belligerent Sliver we talked about. I've put in Combat Celebrant. Yeah, I'm not sure this is a right call or not, purely because of the Duke's ability to exile the tokens it may create at the end of the combat step. So even if you created copies of Combat Celebrant, they wouldn't, I don't believe you get a chance to exert those copies. However, there is another card in here that you've seen me play before that I'll talk about in a minute, so I've decided to include this just for the sake of it at the moment. Fever's in here, give all my creatures haste so I haven't got to worry about it. Lava Belly Sliver we talked about. I found Bottle Gnomes. I like playing Bottle Gnomes. It's very childish, I know. I am seriously thinking about dropping this out though, because I've just realised that there's the card I was then talking about I didn't put in the deck. So bear with me 1 second while I go and find the card. There it is. We'll take the Bottle Gnomes out. There you go. Okay. So, I'll come to that in a second. Filigree Familiar's in here for the life gain of the card draw. That's definitely staying. I'm not changing that over while I'm recording a video. Anointed Processions here. We have several ways of making tokens with this deck. And some of those creatures come into play and they create tokens. So if they come into play off the Duke, they'll create the tokens as well. And I figured Anointed Procession was a good shout just to see if we can make even more of those tokens when those creatures come into play. That's how it works in my head. I'm not a rules expert, but that's how I think it works. So hopefully it does work like that. If you know it doesn't, jump down below, let me know, tell me off. Appreciate it. Megara the Diplomat, I quite like the idea of getting some extra card draw. There's a lot, in Commander, people do tend to play in 2 or more spells a turn, so you are going to get that card draw, and they do tend to take you with more than 2 creatures, so hey, it's all good. Watch Sliver we talked about. Then we've got a few bits of complete board wipe for creatures, so we've got Day of Judgment, Depopulate, Shatter the Sky, and over here we've got Doomscar as well, so they're all there. Hero Bladehold, I thought would be quite a good little thing to have with the Duke if we can copy it. Give it haste, give it myriaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 attacking. You get at least 6. This gives you at least 6 white 1/1 soldiers tokens that are tapped and attacking. With Anointed Procession in play, that goes up to 12. This is one of the creatures I was talking about, so if my head works, it should be fine. Thraben Watcher, it gives me a bit of flying for Modern Horizons 2. And non-token creatures you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance, so I figured it was worth giving it a shot in this deck just to bump up some other things. Flame Tongue's traditional. I like Flame Tongue. I remember playing Flame Tongue in Standard, so I chucked it in this deck as well, and I like this artwork, hence why we've got the old school artwork. So, and also, yeah, 3 of them attacking might upset your opponent and destroy their blocking math. So, Byron Strong Stout Arm does give us a way to sacrifice maybe some of the creatures that have been created, because we can do it in combat. So if we're going to create some big things and we're going to get rid of them, we don't really want to exile them. You know, if we can do some extra damage with them, even if it's just a one-shot thing, I think it's worth a try. Fire Main Angel's in here. I got this as a promo, as you can tell. I'm not overly keen on the promo, but it's here. And then, you know, it attacks at least 2 other with it. So whenever Fire Main Angel at least 2 other tickets scratch, you get to basically Lightning Helix something somewhere. So I think it's worth a go. We're playing red-white, might as well play our Aronis and try and give our creatures menace. It does prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control, so that does kind of mean our stuff stays alive with a bit of luck, which would be good. Showdown of the Skulls is here purely for the card draw on the first part of the saga. If we get to cast stuff after that and put some +1/+1 counters around, all well and good, but it's purely for the card draw at the moment. It's red-white, I'm really sorry, but it does make sense to have Winota in here. We've got a lot of non-humans, we've got quite a few humans as well, so it didn't seem a lot of point in not putting Winota in this deck, so that's why Winota's here. We all know what it does. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 6. For any non-human attacks, look at the top 6, put human into play. It gains indestructible, it's tapped and attacking. Yeah, why not? Let's get on with it. Solemn Sim, card draw, mana ramp. Might as well play it, doesn't hurt, does it? Cathar's Crusade, we are going to be putting a lot of creatures into play. I believe, if I've done it right, that these creatures, when you attack with a creature with Myriaded, it comes into play, the tokens come into play, choose Cathar's Crusade. It doesn't seem completely unreasonable. Again, if I've got the rules wrong, please comment below and shout at me. Oh yeah, Thornscar Slivers in here. Might as well have it in, because when the Slivers attack, it pings people. I'm just trying out the Slivers for the fun factor more than anything else. They may come out in the future. Berserker's Onslaught, give all our creatures double strike when they're attacking. That sounds like a good plan to me. Rhianonia's in here, basically so we can create some more copies of things on our turn. I believe, and this is something I need to test out in the deck and I'm not 100% sure it works, if I stack the triggers properly and give a non-legendary creature the Duke's ability and then copy it with Riona the Fire Dancer, we get a couple of creatures mirrored and things start getting interesting, but I need to check that ruling out. I'm not 100% sure, so because it's both at the beginning of combat and when I try it on MTG, undoubtedly that will tell me where I've gone wrong. Siege Gang's in here. I just like Siege Gang. I thought we'd try it out again, but you know, if we do get it into play, if we've got Anointed Procession in play or Cathar's Crusade, it's going to give it a lot of bouncy, pumpy pump. So that's why that's here. Combustible Gear Hulk, mainly for the card draw with a bit of luck. Very few people ever let you mill the cards. They tend to let you draw the 3, which is fine by me. Again, it's a nice target to have with the Duke. I've put a few legends here, which probably shouldn't be here. Elish Norn, you know what it does, helps me control the board. Drago the Shipwreck's in here. I don't actually know why I put this in here now. I was thinking about something else, so this is probably going to come out shortly. But I'll leave it here for the time being. I can think about what I want to do with it, but I just put it in. It's also one of the Command Legends from the original Commander Legends set, so I left it there. Dracoseth's here. You know, it's one of the targets we can put Swift Foot Boots on if we haven't got the Duke in play. The 10 flying damage it does as it goes into attack plus the 7 from itself is really good. And then a couple of things that I thought about. Phyrexian Triniforms in here. It's one of the targets I want to use on Brom. If I can have Duke in play, have Brom in play, and have Phyrexian Triniform in play, that's actually quite good, because you'll be able to sacrifice one of the copies you've made using the Duke's ability with Brom to deal that 9 damage, but you still end up with an extra 3/3 golem artifact creatures when it dies. Obviously the other copies won't trigger because they get exiled, they don't die, so that's one of the things. There is a couple of things that I might put in and see if I can work out a way to have a sacrifice effect in here, but I couldn't think of anything quickly when I was building the deck. And the final one I dropped in, Darksteel Colossus. I kind of figured having this with Mirrored and attacking and having sort of like 3 of them on the board attacking everyone else would be quite good. So yeah, it sounded like a plan to me. So in a nutshell, that's the deck. Is it going to work? I have no idea. But did I want to build it and see if I can make Duke Elder Ravengard work? Yeah, I sure did. So I'll be trying that on the stream at some stage during this week. And if I don't get around to playing it on the stream, I'll also do a quick gameplay video and record it and try it out and put it up on here at some stage. But hopefully you like the look of some of the stuff that's coming in Commander at Battle for Baldur's Gate. This is my really quick deck tech. It's a little bit untested. I will be testing it out, but keep your eye out. I've got a couple more non-Baldur's Gate deck techs coming this week. I've got another at least one more Baldur's deck tech still coming, and I'm still waiting to find a Myrworm Sentinel Worm for trade somewhere so I can actually update the list for the deck tech I did the other week. But thanks for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.